I don't think I can trust Atlético Madrid to get the job done. I really don't.
But obviously they will start the game in the next leg with a level playing field in terms of men. They had 10 men today to finish it. So if you already know what you know this season about the crazy 4-0 win for one team, 3-0 for the other team, Grell, do you think Barcelona will go away to Atletico and think, OK, we're still in this tie?
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And as soon as Atlético Madrid got the red card and the goal, Barcelona grew into the game. Mm-hmm. Actually, the weaker team from there on out was Atlético Madrid by a mile. And they will, with 11 men away from home with nothing to lose, I wouldn't want to play against them. I mean, really tricky, good in possession. The press after loss is hard to play against, I think, as well. So they'll feel they have a chance. When Atletico won 4-0 and then Barca won 3-0 the second leg, the roles were reversed in that they went back to the Camp Nou. So this time they're going away from home in a difficult place to play. I think, though, what Troy said, Atletico Madrid got caught in a spot where they wanted to manage the game, right? Let's say Atletico Madrid, when they got the man up, they went for the game. And then all of a sudden it ended up 2-1 or 2-2. We would have said idiots. We would have said so stupid because you have to manage the game, right? But by them trying to manage the game, they invited so much pressure from Barcelona, you know, that if they go for that game and they play well and they press, they have a man up. They had less possession, less attempts on target. They stopped playing. So they got caught in where they tried to manage the game and leave Barcelona 2-0. Now Barcelona is still alive. If they go 3-0, 4-0, the game would have been over.
I think 3-0 would have been a good cushion to go back to. But again, we've got to be honest. This isn't the Atlético Madrid of the old. This isn't the hard to beat, good defending, well-drilled,
Are you saying they're not as good?
They're not as good. They're not as good as the past. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're trying to be progressive. They're changing. You look at the players that they're signing. You've got Lookman going there now. They're trying to add more legs, but they're still not as dynamic as Barcelona. I think when you look at that game as well, we just witnessed, even with a man down, Barcelona looks still capable. They should have scored some goals. They didn't take the chances. So I think now, I look at this second leg as Barcelona, for me, seem like a wounded animal. And this is the Champions League. This is what they want. This is the level of what competition that Barcelona clubs see themselves in. This is their last cup final now for them. I feel that they're capable still to go to the Metropolitano and get a result, because this isn't...
You said yesterday you fancied Atletico to go through over the two. I think we both said Barca, you said Atletico. Do you think...
No, I didn't say Atletico.
I thought you did yesterday.
No.
But do you think now in this position that they're in a situation where they can, A, get a clean sheet, and B, manage a game for 90 minutes, knowing that Barca are going to come wave after wave? Do you think that this Atletico team could do it?
I mean, when you look at today with the man up still and how many still half chances or creative moments that Barcelona had, I don't think I can trust Atletico Madrid to get the job done. I really don't. And then from the Barca's perspective... So
you think Barca's going to advance, just to be clear?
I wouldn't rule it out. I think we have to be real. No, you can laugh all you want, but if you look at it, no, I'm not sitting on the fence.
Nigel's banned from saying you can't rule it out.
I'm giving the reality of it. I'm just saying that for me, Atletico Madrid have the advantage.
Yeah. Well, 79% agree with you, Nigel. So it's not, you know, it's your opinion.
It's my
Either way is okay.
I do.
No, both of them from losing positions. Who would advance? Who's got a better chance?
And I think Barcelona will get it done, because I'm just thinking. You know what it's like, Troy, as well. Yeah. And you've got the same mentality. If you're in that Barcelona dressing room now, how would you approach that second leg? Would you not just say,
"Oh, it's great.
Good game.
You'd rather beat Barca in the second leg?
Yeah.
And play with the
freedom. It's easier. Freedom.
We've got nothing to lose.
We've got to win the game.
Yes,
no matter what happens, we have to win the game. For Atletico, there's so many variable solutions. Like we could actually lose the game. If we lose 1-0, we still go through. A draw's good, but actually if we win it as well, that would be great.
You're like caught in two minds.
Yeah, you don't know whether to stick or twist, whereas Barca is just one clear message. Yeah. Win the game.
Win the game. It's the underdog message, like Grell said about yesterday, when you talk about underdog mentality. That's what Barcelona are going to have. And don't be sitting there thinking that these guys in that dressing room are going to think that they have less quality or not as good as players as Atletico Madrid. They're going to believe they can get the job done, and this pretty much will be their season. I know they're obviously trying to win the Liga as well, but this is the competition that these clubs want the most, and this is it for them. Go and win the game, move on to the next round.
We already watched the second leg. It already happened. The second leg happened in the second half. The second half is exactly what's going to happen in the second leg. It's the same carbon copy. It's going to be Barcelona with the football. They're going to be better with the football. They're going to create so many chances from set pieces and different moments from Yamal. They're going to have the moments to take the game and make it a game. But then it's going to be like a Sørloth or a Álvarez with a moment in the game on the counterattack. As Barcelona are pushing, it's going to be one moment. Because in the second half, Barcelona controlled and dominated the game. I think that's what the second leg could look like. but then there's going to be that one susceptible moment on the counter, that one moment of either, like I said, one of those two strikers that's going to be able to change the game as well. So definitely advantage to Atlético Madrid, but it's going to look a lot like the second leg.
So, Nigel, you've got Barca going through. What about you two, very quickly? Barca or Atleti?
Barca for me.
Atlético Madrid.
Atleti, and you've got Barca.
Barca, yeah.
Barca. It feels fair to say, doesn't it, Troy? All of the attention for us was kind of on the expectations maybe in Spain tonight. We thought we were going to see loads of goals, but it felt like that red card kind of completely changed things.
Yeah, and also if Barcelona would have took their chance in the first 15 minutes, maybe we would have had more of an open game. But it was a great game of football, though. And I think, 65 minutes in, we were saying, well, who's the happier at this moment in time? 1-0 down, red card, Barcelona felt like they were going to be the happier team. And then the second goal just swung it all into Atlético Madrid's favour. It was a good game to watch, really intriguing game. Probably the better game of the two, I would say.
We've seen them meet quite a few times this season, haven't we, Nigel? Even this past weekend, in fact. Did it go the way you expected, or was it just hard because the red card influenced it so much?
I felt that the red card influenced the game for sure. You know, I didn't see Atletico getting the result that they did, and I think, again, we have to understand that the red card changed the game. I think it put it in favour in Atletico, obviously, with the quality that they have. Barcelona still gave a good account of themselves. Even though being 2-0 down, they still tried to make a game of it. But I did think that Barcelona would get the job done at home. I would still say that this tie is not over.
I wish I could cover Barcelona for the rest of my life because I wouldn't have to do any prep. I'd save 3 days a week. 3 days a week because the game went exactly as you would expect. One of the best teams in the world, if not the best team in the world, in possession. Got stronger when they had the red card, by the way. Frightening to play against. Yamal is the best player in the world, no question about it. They should win the game today. They're much better than Atlético Madrid. And Atlético Madrid is inferior to them in every way. But they lost the game 2-0. How is it possible? Because the same thing that we've been saying for 2 years now, and in the highest moments, in the highest games, there's one moment. They lost the game because of one moment today. They didn't lose the game because they're an inferior team. They're much superior to Atlético Madrid. They lost the game on one moment that they refused to address, that they refused to change. And so the analysis for the game for me was easy. Was it a fun game? I think for young players now watching this show or watching the Champions League in general, my God, you better be a good player to play at this level because the attention to detail, the speed of the game is frightening. I'm sitting here watching it, getting tired watching them. The speed at which they make decisions, some of the dribbling that we saw Yamal do, this was the high level of football, make no mistake. It gets decided on one play, though, at the end of the day.
Could you imagine, by the way, if Grella was a Spanish reporter covering Barcelona every week, what he'd write, what he'd say?
Your subscribers would be through the roof.
He would say opposite. He would actually
Copy-paste.
believe opposite to what he writes anyway. So that's something else. It's something that you can't put into words. Like you both have experienced it, that when you're in a team and you go a man down, it's like an extra adrenaline rush kicks in. And you already know that you're up against the wall, but then you just get that extra shift, that extra gear. And let's be honest anyway, Barcelona are a very dynamic team anyway. They've got very dynamic players all over the pitch. So I'm not surprised that they can seem to kick on that extra gear. And they know what's at stake as well with needing that goal.
The other part to that is Atlético Madrid was so uncomfortable when they were 1-0 up. They didn't know how to take the game to Barcelona. Their game plan was to not have the ball, sit back in and hit on the counter-attack. Then it switched and it was like, right, all the emphasis is in your favour now. Go and dominate. Go and kick on. Go and score more goals. And it was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. And they just kept giving the ball off until Sørloth came in. It was all Barcelona. And Barcelona were great, but I think Atlético Madrid played a big part in that because they didn't know what to do with the ball.
It's not the first time we've seen a red card, though, is it, for Barcelona's backline? You were alluding to how Kabasi's even been sent off in the Champions League. We've seen Araujo be sent off a couple of times. If you're in their shoes, Grella, are you feeling guilty for the situation like that, or are you just thinking this is just what happens when we're playing this dangerous high line?
It's both, because I think as a young defender, you put in a situation where you're facing your own goal too often. Defenders want to keep everything in front of them. That's the ideal day for a defender. They're happy if they can keep everything in front of them. And you get the ball on the sideline or to feet. They don't like when guys are going behind them. So when constant fire drills, when balls are going behind you and runners are coming behind you and you're facing your own goal, that's a difficult situation to be put in, especially as a young defender. Then there's also moments where you can make better decisions. And this one is a little bit different than the ones we've seen in the past, because the run from Simeone, he's obviously a midfielder, he comes from deep and they never address it, they never pick it up. So Some of it is also poor defending from the young centre backs, and also even if he's through there, do you need to touch him?
Touching his foot, he can't get out of the way at that point. But Nigel, I think he can engage a little bit earlier in that and just go right. Let's stop it.
And that what goes with Kubasi's a very young defender, product of the academy. He's come through, he's played a lot of games at a very young age, and you still talk about learning the game. Like you said there, if he did a straight line run instead of trying to go across, he would have got there because he's got the legs to get there. But again, I feel sorry for these young defenders because this is how the manager wants them to play, and we see the same thing again and again. It's fine to play a high line. How you make a high line successful is by pressing from the front. These guys, the strikers, they need to press. They need to engage because when they press, they can force teams to have to go long when you're setting your high line, and it's easier. If you don't have a good press from the front, which Hansi Flick has said before in the past, that he needs to get that right, you're going to be doing this every single game.